Do you know whether there were compressed sheet gaskets that were not asbestos that were in use when you worked there?
Ambiguous, vague, calls for expert opinion as first.
Yeah, I couldn't say that. I know we had asbestos, we had rubber, had paper gaskets. If we had some that I would say I couldn't answer that. I don't know.
Would you know how to tell the difference between a compressed sheet gasket that had no asbestos as opposed to a compressed sheet gasket that had asbestos?
Assumes facts, not evidence. Vague, overly broad, vaguest to time, and foundation calls for expert opinion.
I don't know if I could or not. It's something that if the asbestos gasket or the gasket was old and was being scraped off or torn off, I think I could tell whether it was asbestos or not.
In the course of your working, have you ever worked with any compressed sheet gaskets that you believe are not asbestos or were not asbestos contained?
Vaguest to time.
I can't recall.
No.
Be hard to recall that.
You continued to work up to 1989, correct?
I believe it was somewhere around there.
And up until 1989, were you still working with gasket products?
Overly broad.
Not as much as when I worked at the.
But you were still working with gasket
Yes.
products. And were some of those products compressed sheet products?
I'm not sure whether what I worked with after I left there. I couldn't tell you whether it was a sheet gasket that wasn't asbestos or it was asbestos.